For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned in to Pelican Postgame Report. Man, shout out to the fam, man. We up in this thing. Man, boy. Pelican swept, man. Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining for the stream, man. Let's go to Willie Green and this uneventful conference.
I loved our fight and the way we battled tonight. That's a special group in that locker room, and what I told them is that there's no other group that we would rather get on that floor and compete with than that group, and they poured it out tonight. Unfortunately, we came up short. Give Oklahoma credit; they're a tough team, and they played a good, solid all-around game, and it came down to the wire. They made some plays down the stretch.
I know you want to dive into this matchup, but when you look at this season as a whole, do you have a summation yet, or is that something that will come in later days when you have some moments to marinate?
Yeah, I'm gonna allow this to settle in, and after it does, I'm sure I can look at big picture a little bit more. But right now, we're grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for the opportunity to go to get on the floor and compete with these guys, but it stings, and sometimes you just got to allow that to happen.
Willie, does it feel like this series could very easily be tied 2-2, even forgetting Zion not playing, but if guys just play kind of to their typical standards, the ball goes in at a normal clip, you feel like I said, the series could be a lot more even?
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't want to get up here and make excuses and take away from Oklahoma and what they did. We battled. It was a tough matchup, and games 1 and then tonight was closer. Games 2 and 3 they pulled away from us, but for sure it could have easily been a series that have been tied. But they were a tough team. They were a tough matchup for us.
And BI has kind of generally struggled since returning from injury, but tonight it seemed like he really just couldn't find his shot, get anything going. What did you see out there?
Well, BI he's coming off of being injured and being away for a month, not being able to play, and then when he does come back, it's in playoff intensity level games, and then we lose Z, who can settle our whole team down. So we put a lot on him, and he was still trying to find the rhythm, still trying to get back to where he was, and it was just tough timing.
And Willie, got to finish with a positive. Najee looked like he really produced well. JV, can you talk a little bit about what those guys did tonight?
Yeah, they've been good all season. Najee, his toughness, his grit, guarding guys, making plays, making shots. JV, rebounding. We could throw the ball into him, try to create some offense. So both of those guys were really good tonight. Unfortunately, like I said, we came up short.
I know you mentioned maybe getting a little more shooting out there. I know obviously when the first spell came out, just what did you see in the flow of the game where you decided maybe you're gonna kind of stick with your normal rotation?
These are the guys that got us to this point, and they pretty much all earned an opportunity to go out and try to help us carve out a win. We threw Hawk in for a little bit. We created some offense, but at the end of the day, for 4 games, we've struggled offensively. Our defense has kind of held us together, but we just couldn't make the shots that we needed to make.
And it's probably early to say anything. Just how long does something like this kind of stick with you into the off season, where you had time to fully process it, replay every single possession in your mind, that kind of stuff. Whereas, and then at what point do you feel like, okay, I've digested all of it?
Yeah. It stays with you for a while. We work our tails off to put ourselves in this position, and we had goals to go further, but sometimes this happens, and you learn from it. But it's going to take a while for us to process it, feel it, and then like I said, we can look at big picture a bit more after.
You feel like sometimes, after you've had that time to think about it, you might need to unplug, detach yourself, get away, go do something that makes you happy, find your comfort zone before you fully assess yourself and the team and the job you guys did over the season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's the healthy thing to do is to kind of get away for a little bit, allow yourself to feel it and process it. I know we had a really good season, and you can look at the last 3 seasons and see improvement. So we're going in the right direction, but it's difficult to process and talk about it at this moment, especially after just losing the game.
You guys went up 5 points in the fourth quarter, and then they went on an 18-2 run. What was the biggest key for them, I guess, in pushing ahead?
They capitalized on some turnovers and honestly some baskets that we just missed that led to transition opportunities for them, and that's the difference in the game. Our margin for error is small. This is a team that turns you over. Last few games, we turned the ball over, and they capitalize on it. All right, thank you.
All right, fam. Total BS, man. A gutless, domesticated, weak team got its issue tonight. And we kind of talked about that, man. We really did. Shout out to Brother Aramis. Can't get much more disappointing than this. I know we didn't have Zion, but a sweep. And this is why I was cautioning some of the family members when the Pelicans finally, after the third try, got, a win to get in the playoffs only to get swept. See, we've been through this. We've been through this. OKC did it to the Pelicans again. So, I mean, what's interesting about this all is 18 points in the final period of play. The Pelicans, boy, oh boy, the most the Pelicans, I think, scored for the series against this team was like 94 points or something like that. I mean, my goodness, man, 94 points was the most points they scored in this series, which was the first game where OKC was incredibly rusty. They ran these people, they out-efforted them, they out-fought them, anything you possibly can. And then the markers out on the Pelicans, all you have to do is get physical with them, just like OKC did. They was jumping all over this team. And BI passing the ball. They were physical, they were handsy, but you mean to tell me I'm not going to even go all totally on him. But it's just a terrible, terrible, stinking performance by the Pelicans. Gutless, sad, trash performance. This whole series, this team has no heart. They didn't try to play with any intensity. It's a better effort in the fourth game because of elimination. But still in all, it ended the way it was supposed to end, with the better team winning, the better coach and the better team altogether. When all this stuff about, well, if Zion was here, the hell with that. We had enough people to win, at least win one goddamn game. So, and then Willie says we're going to go for more offense, and he puts a couple of guys in for a few I don't know what to tell you, man. Thank you, Brother Aramis, for the super chat. We're going to bring in Lex. And Lex, girl, she's smiling. What are you smiling for?
I'm laughing at you.
I'm upset here. And you just smiling and making me laugh. I'm upset. I watched this team, Lex, and my goodness, man. Oh, just putrid, stinking performance through the play. What a gutless series, man. No edge. No edge. Heart. I mean, the Williams boys, especially what's his name, Jalen Williams. What's the guy?
Light skin or dark skin?
What's Humpback Williams? Is it Jay Williams?
Dark skin. That's dark skin, Jalen.
Yeah, him. That kid is awesome, man. He plays defense.
He was like another Shea.
Man, they talking. You're right, and it's like, man, he was awesome this whole series. And Lou Dort was all over him. I don't know what to say about it, but in the end, man, it was they just put on a spectacular performance against Detroit Mercy Willies, New Orleans Pelicans. So Lex, before I get into would you like me to go stat wise, or so you can get the runway?
You can go stat wise, but I'm gonna let you know right now there ain't a whole lot. It's not a whole lot to say on this one.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah, you can do the stats.
Oh Lord, what's happening? What's going on with this team? That's why I was cautioning. Remember when we before the playoffs start, people like, you be excited, be excited. Man, we done been here before, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't get your feelings up to get yanked back down to reality, man, by this team. Cause man, something they're not right, man. They're not right, man. All right. So anyway, in this, let's go into some of the series right here. DC will join us in a little bit. The Pelicans tonight, 37.6%, 32 of 85 from the field. They were 8 of 34 from downtown for 23.5%. The OKC Thunder, 35 of 82 for 43%, 12 of 40 from downtown for 30%. Pelicans was 17 of 20 from the foul line for 85%. The Thunder were 15 of 24 for 62.5%. The Pelicans did grab 50 rebounds, 12 offensive, and then kind of moved the ball around assist wise, 22 to 18. 10 to 9 on steals, 8 to 7 on blocks. They had 19 turnovers in this game. 14 by OKC. 16 to 10 is the fast break situation. The points in the paint were also OKC, 46 to 36. And they just did what they had to do. They had as much as the lead as 11. And like I said, the Pelicans had this game in hand. And ultimately, when it's all said and done, they do what they do, which is trash, man. I just don't. It's just pathetic. And DC telling me, man, they're going to win tonight. Yeah, right.
Mm-mm.
All right. So anyway, and then, of course, the individual statistics, 20 points by CJ McCullum on 9 of 16 shooting from the field. He was 2 of 7 from downtown, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block by McCullum. He also had 3 turnovers and the minus 14 on the plus minus. 19 points from Bell in 26 minutes. He finished with 19 points, 13 boards. Herb had 11 points, 4 assists, and 4 boards as well. 7 from Trey Murphy, 43 minutes, Lex, from Trey. He was 3 of 10 from the field, 1 of 7 from downtown. He finished with 7 points and 11 rebounds. And that, you don't think that's worse?
He got his cardio in.
Well, let me tell you, that's bad. Look at BI's numbers. BI had 8 points, 6 assists, and 4 rebounds in 39 minutes. He was 2 of 14 from the field, 2 of 14, 0 of 3 from downtown, 4 of 6, and he finished with 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 blocks. Lou Dort really just completely put, and the guy said, put a straight jacket on him. He really did.
Okay. Hold up. Brandon had 8 points.
Yes. 8 points.
Najee Marshall, who comes off the bench,
Gave him 16.
had more points than Brandon and Trey Murphy combined.
Yep. Isn't that something?
I'm gonna need to let that sink in for a second. Just give me a second.
That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And then let me add this too, Lex. In an elimination game, nonetheless.
8 points.
In an elimination game. Yes.
Okay, so I'm not really trying to hear, Brandon being a star and stuff. 8 points. And this is who we were emphasizing?
Yes. This is what this was what was going on. And this is the performance, and they're supposed to turn it on and turn it up. 8 points in an elimination game in 39 minutes. And then, of course, like you said, Najee Marshall in 22 minutes was 5 of 9 from the field. He hit 4 3-pointers tonight, finished with 16 points and 3 rebounds. He did what he tried. He tried to do what he do. Jose finished with just 2 points, 3 steals, 4 assists, and a couple of rebounds in 15 minutes of action. Jayhawk played 4 minutes. So Willie said we needed more offense and gave the man 4 minutes. So I guess
it was his birthday.
That's like nitrous, Q.
He didn't. That was just a fluke. That really was. He knew it was his birthday today, and it's like, look, I put you in for a few minutes just to say that you can play, and it's not garbage minutes. So that's the only reason why he played him. Everything that he said, I actually have something I want to share about that because that was messed up.
Oh, can I
That
make a
really was
comment
messed
first? Because Big Q tried to slander my name.
up. Oh, he did. I will go
Yeah,
on.
he said I
Go
called
and
him
protect
talking
your
about
name.
we was gonna win and all of this. I said we was gonna lose on the last show, and then Willie said he was gonna inject some offense into the lineup. I said, Big Q, he gonna play Matt Ryan and Jayhawk, we gonna win. And then he turned around and said before the game that he wasn't gonna change nothing. I said, oh, we gonna lose. He ain't talked to me after that. Willie said he wasn't gonna change anything after he said he was gonna change it up and add offense to the lineup.
Yeah.
We just say that.
Yeah, and that's basically what I was going like. Erin Summers, she said head coach Willie Green said they are going to stick with what they've done, but have to be ready to make adjustments if they need. Biggest thing is focusing on going out there and giving it their all.
So
We have to play with force.
You know what? This dude, the thing is, basically what he was saying is that I am incapable of being a good head coach. I don't have it.
I don't
He
understand.
doesn't have the ability to make adjustments. This was an excuse. This is ludicrous right here. This is crazy. This is straight up hot garbage in my Deion Sanders voice.
But Lex, this in DC, I'm asking why what you have done over the last several games has not worked. So why reiterate to the thing that doesn't work? It didn't
Say,
work.
you
He
ever
went back
seen
on
that
his
that
word.
picture of somebody digging for like a diamond, and then they be like, "Don't give up, because your breakthrough is like right there," and he be having like a little bit of dirt in between the diamond and the person, and he stop and turn around. That's what Willie be thinking, bro. He's like, we right there on the edge about the breakthrough. I've stuck with it for 82 games. I don't want to close with JV,
Man, come on.
which
It
he had to do tonight. I ain't seen that in forever.
it didn't
He
work.
and the man he made a system and set a way of playing, bro, and he stuck with it all year. Unfortunately for
He's
us,
stubborn.
it
Like
it it
the
didn't
thing
turn
is,
into shit. And first off, one thing I want to say about Bi, I know everybody's like get rid of him. It's horrible. It is, but I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I ain't seen Bi light up Blue Dork before. So
okay,
my thing with him, I think he's
DC,
still hurt and he was
he
trying to
didn't
play
do it.
through
He
it.
didn't do it in this series.
He didn't because
And
he's still hurt. I mean, he had come back
okay, well,
from what, a
Aramis
knee
had a point.
hyperextension. You would think he'd be able to come back from that 10 games ago or whatever it was. But it's obvious the dude was still hurt. I've never seen Bi look this bad. That's including his rookie year with the Lakers. So something was wrong with him. I don't think he's as horrible as this showing would have him in this series. And I almost think after tonight in the previous game, it's gonna be real hard for us to trade him and get anything of value if we do want to move off from Bi. If
Exactly.
that's
That's why
still
I
what
was
they want
so
to do, we
upset
gotta wait till the trade deadline
for
anyway.
them to get, move him, a long time ago, but I think Aramis had a point. I mean, if he was hurt, then he should have been like, he should have went to Willie, be like, look, man, I don't want to hurt the team. You know what I'm saying? Like, just sit me down. If it was like that, if it was to that extent. Because the thing is like he went out there and he didn't
I,
help.
I got a
And
question for you, Lex,
what?
pertaining to that, and I'm gonna let you keep cooking.
Okay.
Will Kobe Bryant sit down? Because that's kind of who
Brandon's
mentored
not
Bi.
Kobe Bryant. He
That's who
doesn't have he
mentored him.
don't have his mentality.
That's
Uh,
who
He
he
doesn't
trying
have
to
his
be.
game or his mentality. Guess what?
so
He
bro.
ain't doing a good job. Like, dog, you when you watch film, I think you watching Paw Patrol or something. Like, the thing is like he's not getting it. It's not clicking. Something is amiss. Like,
Right.
how can you tell me that you're watching film? You're watching film of Kobe. You're watching film of all these playoff games, and it's not showing on the court. It's not showing up. You don't see the evidence. All the work that,
He
is
watch all the
is
tough shots Kobe make, and he practiced them.
huh?
He watches all the tough shots that Kobe makes, and he practices
Okay.
those.
This dude needs to work on playing the game easier. Look, you should not be practicing tough shots. Like, that's the problem with this team is like nothing comes, like the game is not easy. Like everything about the Pelicans, the game is hard. It's not natural. Like, why are you seeking out the hardest shot or the toughest shot and not looking for the easiest shot? That's the crazy thing to me. Like, the game should not be this hard.
It
Like,
wasn't. Not
like
okay.
look at the Thunder. Look at how well they were moving the ball, off-ball
It
movement.
was all
They
that.
were sharing the ball. Everybody, like the energy was contagious. Like, they weren't making a lot of mistakes. Look, the Thunder did not look like the youngest team in the league. The Pelicans look like that.
That's right. They got ran
And
out of there by the youngest team in the
and,
league.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, the Thunder, like, they don't play like the youngest team in the NBA. They play like a veteran team,
We looked
and they're
old
really
and
young.
young at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy how that. Well, we've never seen a team like that. We've never seen a team like this.
Man, them
So
guys.
the
No,
fact that the Thunder came in, they executed well. They performed well down the stretch in the clutch.
mhm.
And I think I'm more impressed with that. Like, they did not, any type of run or anything that the Pelicans did, OKC responded big time.
Mhm.
Like, they did not panic. You see how many times the Pelicans panic
Yep.
in close games?
Yep.
They don't know. They forget how to play basketball. Can't nobody catch the ball. Can't nobody put the ball up in the hole.
Yeah, them dudes, man. Boy, I
You know what
tell
I'm
you.
saying? OKC never showed those type of tendencies.
They
And
played
that's what impresses me. I'm like, wow, this is the youngest team in the league, and they're performing like this.
they played under control, Lex.
Yeah, they did.
They
They
played.
never got rattled. They never got rattled.
Shout out to brother Aramis with the super chat. He says, and before people try and say injury, if Bi was hurt, that he says if Bi was that hurt to the point he can barely contribute, he should have set. No disrespect, this series was horrible for him, and this is the point. This is the playoffs. There are no excuses for the playoffs. When you get into the playoffs, there is no excuses for that. If Bi was that hurt, he shouldn't have played. They shouldn't have let.
Ain't no winning, because if he wouldn't have played, then it's gonna be a big deal for that.
Well, no,
It's a lose-lose situation. So you
It
go out
is.
on your shield the way you prefer to go out, man. Because
well, listen,
if he
all
didn't play, everybody gonna say he should have
all-
sucked it up. He
he's-
should have been out there. We can't win without Bi. Ain't no way Bi should have said it. It's just a lose-lose no matter what. You go out there, you stank it up. People gonna talk about you. You ain't nothing.
How
If he
about
didn't
this?
play, they gonna
How
say you weak.
First,
You're not you're injury prone. You all these others, the same shit they did to Zion. You don't want to be here. All that shit comes.
bro,
So
listen,
it's just, you got to go out there and perform. You
look,
got to go out there and perform.
what I'm
That's the only answer, man.
it ain't a lose-lose. It's not a lose-lose. It's not, because
Damned if you don't, damned if you do. If you hurt and you can't be yourself and you don't look like yourself when you're out there, everybody gonna talk shit about you.
the coach is supposed to understand how to play. This is a team game, right? It's a
Yeah,
team
the
game.
coach is supposed to make it easier for him and draw up stuff to make him a decoy, and yeah.
Exactly. So I mean, there are a lot of stuff going on beside Bi's 8 points. I mean, Trey played 43 minutes and had 7 points on 1 of 7 shooting from downtown. I mean, it was just the philosophy overall was just ridiculous, man. And it fed right into OKC's hands. And like I said, the Pelicans, like these people, OKC was taking shots. A lot of times they circulate the ball. They had wide open 3-point shots. I mean, the Pelicans rotated late to challenge some of these shots. It was a lot of craziness. And this was the entire damn series. You know, the last, I don't know how many, 8 or 9 games of the postseason, or the not postseason, but toward the back end of the season, into the play-in and into the playoffs. Man, it was ridiculous. It was utterly ridiculous. It was just trash basketball by the Pelicans, about a lot of old stale ass philosophies by Willie Green, not having the ability to adjust to what people are doing and playing into their hands. Willie is a good dude, but he is not a strategist, man. A lot of his rotations are late, a lot of his adjustments are late. The dude is like damn near always late to the party. The team is woefully underprepared and in game tight situation. They are woefully prepared. They don't know what to do. They're a ridiculous 0-26 or 27 record, and when they're trailing going into the fourth quarter. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. At the end of the day, and what I'm saying is, the dude this should have been a lot better set up here. I mean, obviously he needs to start listening to his coaches. Then the offensive, like, we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna put this guy in there. You play Jayhawk for 4 minutes. You miss a couple of shots. You take him out, sit him back down. He go right back to what wasn't working. So, like I said, man, they already re-signed the contracts. That they did that sneakily. That's right, I said sneakily. They put that shit on the back end of last year and then break it out at the end of the regular season to show you. And that's why a kid, when people say why you get on Griffin so much, because of sneaky shit like that. What they did like last year, that kind of sneaky shit that they do. And then let it leak that they signed Willie Green, because we thinking, man, Willie Green coaching for his life. No, he ain't.
No.
Nobody coaching for the.
No.
Man, we went all year believing that shit too.
That's why he was so laid back.
Yeah, he was laid back. He had extra. We know he got some time. Now, Lex, listen, we don't know how much time he's gotten. We don't know how long the extension is. We don't know how much money he's making. They don't tell you all that. They're gonna hide all that. But all those guys got goddamn extensions. And now we got to turn around and figure out what's going on. I know. So, Judas, thank you for your super chat. Says incompetent for playing, hurt, no excuse. So that's what you're gonna hit. No excuse for BI. And if BI,
ain't no excuse. You got to show up.
Well, I mean, right. 8 points, DC. Listen, unless his leg was falling off, bro. The 8 points and then Trey 7 points. You can't.
Do you think Kobe would have scored 8 points?
Hell no, Kobe wouldn't have scored.
No, Kobe would have shot 50 points, 50 shots before he'd have just settled on 8 points.
Exactly. Exactly.
But at the same time, if you still lose that game and he shot for everybody, man, Kobe was out there jacking all them shots up. If you don't get it done, you don't get it done. It ain't nothing to fix it but a W. Huh?
He don't got no shot like Kobe either.
What you mean, as far as what?
His shot.
You damn sure don't got Kobe.
I think he hit tough shots somewhat like him, but like, who really hits tough shots like Kobe? Like, that's crazy.
I mean,
but BI is
shooting tough shots.
He's the number one tough shot maker in the league, Lex.
Exactly. And something's wrong with that. Something is really wrong with that.
It is something wrong with it. I think it's a great ability to have for down the stretch in the last 2 minutes of the game, right? But when your whole offensive game kind of revolves around that, like you can't generate 10 to 12 easy buckets consistently, which I've seen him do at times. But this year it just wasn't as consistent. The lack of building on that 3-point game, which, man, it just seems like he's right there with being able to do it. Building a game off ball, some type of off ball movement is just not what he does. But it's almost like you look at BI, and I understand why people saying he don't match with Zion. Kind of the same stuff you look for Zion, you will want for BI. You want some shooters to open it up, other people to shoot threes, not depending on him to do that. Keep the lane open where he can attack and get downhill when his first step, which is actually pretty good, does work, even though it looked like a mummy step this series. That's how I know he ain't right, because he don't have a bad first step to say he damn near 6'10", But the more you look at it, it's like, how are they going to merge those two together if BI can't become a true, consistent, efficient 3-level scorer?
It's to me, like, we talk about him being, we know that it's a degree of him being hurt, but this guy was missing wide open shots, man. he was so shook. He was like, we're gonna go back to Mobb Deep. I might as well put the shook one instrumental on because it ranged. Pelicans was shook. They're a shook team, man. When we called it the
Yeah.
broadcast, BI was missing wide open jump shots, man. Nobody was in his damn face. He was wide open, 15-foot jump shots. He missing them. Wide open. Lou Dort set up and put a house, some real estate, and 1 million acres of real estate inside of BI's mind.
Hold up, excuse me, Q. Aramis then put a super chat up, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry, Aramis.
He said Kobe would have went out on his sword. Cause who else gonna shoot? Come on, DC.
Yeah, that's right.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying at all.
Thank you, Aramis. One thing I know is, man, BI emulates a lot of Kobe's game, but man, we talking about heart. Kobe Bryant, man, had a big heart.
Yeah, things that you can't measure.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's what Brandon is missing. And Brandon does not have gears. He doesn't have another gear. I don't, you know, it's the same as regular season. I kind of feel like, you know, he gets to a certain point where he performs, but it's like that's all he has. I think with him, it's all the other things. It's not really, you know, his talent, even though sometimes like he may not be shooting well, but it's just the other things that you can't measure. I mean, it really is. It's an energy. It's an energy that's contagious. And I mean, we've seen that from Zion. We've seen Zion like go to other gears. And it's not only that, like it's so impactful where it's contagious to the rest of the team. But you know, he just doesn't have that. And some guys have it, some guys don't. I just think the thing is we need to start looking at it the correct way and not the wrong way. Because
Wouldn't you say BI in Phoenix when we went to the playoff series there, he had another gear when he played in Phoenix? Because he looked like he did to me. But that wasn't last year. That was the year before last. So we talking about almost 2 years ago now, though.
Well, 3. This is the 3rd year, but I mean, so
where 3 basketball years.
If you call that a gear, then where was that in this series? Even half of that
in the medical tent.
Okay, what I'm saying is that it's like that's a huge drop off.
Yeah,
like you know, you have guys that can do well within a series, and they look good for that series. But it's the ones that it's the superstars that are able to upkeep that level of play no matter who you're playing. BI, he has to be in a certain setting or be in a specific matchup. Like Lou Dort had his number. Dort, I mean, and that's being nice.
But Lex, when Lou Dort wasn't on him, they put what your boy name is.
Right, everybody was guarding him, man. It ain't. I don't think Lou Dort was like dominating him like that. They could put anybody on him. Like it wasn't.
I disagree. Lou Dort was in this. It was in his head big time.
Lou Dort, like you know,
other guys were
who BI was cooking before Lou Dort. He didn't even look right. He looked better in the Sacramento playing game or the Lakers game. He looked like hot garbage in those games too.
Pelicans had Sacramento's number. Everybody, even like Zion, performed well against the Kings. So did CJ. Everybody had their time. Even Jonas. Like it wasn't just BI that had great games against the Kings.
He didn't have great. That's my point. He didn't have a great game. We were all happy because BI had like 24 points. Like he had a average game by his standards, and everybody was like, "Oh, BI played great."
Well, I wasn't like that, but I know.
Well, I mean, not us here, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I understand.
They were happy because he got his average.
Brandon got us in the playoffs,
right?
And I was like, "Oh, really?" That's how we looking at that.
Right. So it's like it to me, I ain't saying Lou Dort didn't have an effect, and maybe that's why it looked as bad as it did. But he was off clearly, like since he came back. And we would have needed him to be at least what he was during the regular season if we thought we was gonna have a shot. Not to only mention CJ McCullum actually showing up and looking like an average basketball player.
DC getting money.
Man, look, CJ looked like a terrorist. You know what I'm saying?
But see, now we get into it. BI played horrible. BI deserve criticism, but like when everybody just say BI, we're like, oh, y'all
No.
watching CJ?
No, CJ, man,
That's what I'm
CJ
saying.
was barbecue chicken.
He-
And I
not
think
only
somebody
is he
said in the last stream he was rotisserie. Y'all can put
what?
some names up in there. Fried chicken, you know, anything, ribs. Like they were having a cookout on that dude. Like
I got
he was being
another
attacked.
He
They
was the
hunted
top
him.
dude. He was a
got
but he-
another super chat. Earl Jr. for the $4.99. Appreciate that, brother. BI hurt. Let's face it, Nola Danky.
Okay.
I mean, bro.
Lex don't want to hear that shit.
I mean, it's like
Ain't no
okay.
excuse for BI, bro. I mean, we know he was hurt. We know he wasn't himself, but still in all, Willie's running the offense through him, and obviously he was in many regards considered the option one. Now they did work.
Yeah.
They was using Valley.
Actually, JV seemed like the option one this game.
They was using it well until he wasn't.
Like he can only play 26 minutes. Q. He can't play more than 26 minutes in the last game of the season. He might get hurt.
That's the problem. You know what? The Pelicans got a big problem, man. They got a big old problem, bro. They got a big problem. They got a big problem because even if you can put players together here, is Willie Green as a coach has to improve. His rotations are, he has to improve the majority of the time. His adjustments are late. His philosophy is back ass. He gets tunneled vision. And I don't know if these guys who he's supposed to like Borrego so much and the rest of these coaches, he actually have a pretty good staff of coaches around him. And he got a really good coaching staff around him. Obviously, he's not taking any of their advice in so far as turning the team around. When you seen the Pelicans, the way they were manhandled, and the only reason and we know the reason why they lost by 2 in the first game was because OKC was super rusty. And the Pelicans had the game.
This game was game one.
And then the rest of the way, the Pelicans were completely just pushed out of the way. OKC, from games 2 to tonight's game, OKC basically played the same way. They got their shots off. They played just unbelievably smothering defense. Guys jumping at you. They were physical, putting their hands on you. I mean, they were just absolutely just all over the Pelicans. And the Pelicans had no answer for that. And that's the thing that I look at when we talk about, they just wasn't hitting shots. If you watch the game, you can see the reason why they wasn't hitting a lot of shots because OKC was climbing all over them. Hands in their face, running at them. Even when they forced them to take the ball down from a 3-point attempt and drive to the hoop, guess who was chasing their asses down to challenge the layup or the attempt? Or either Cheddars around there to make them adjust their layup. I
gotta disagree with you on them 3-pointers now.
Well, hold on, DC. I know you're playing devil's advocate, and I know.
I'm just being honest, man.
Hold on. I know you've been getting money from the Pelicans, especially for this goddamn game. Because what you saying?
I'm just being honest, and I ain't no goddamn devil, bro.
You take it up. Hey, bro, you need to chill out with them jokes tonight, brother. I'm serious.
Oh goodness.
All right, Jan. Shout out TCs. Can y'all explain why Trey deserves a max extension? I don't see this superstar potential that others do. The entire OKC team shot better than him. Hawk may even be better in the long run. Thank you, brother Jan. Super chat. Thank you for all that, bro. Okay. Y'all can feel free. DC, Alex, if y'all want to, y'all can chime in on brother Jan's question if you want to.
Yeah, it's definitely in question.
He did score 7 points tonight.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I scored 8.
It's not like, yeah, Trey really this was his year to really step up. A lot of times you see players really step it up to prove why they, deserve that max extension. Obviously looking at it right now, he doesn't deserve it when you're looking at the moment. But there's another facet to this, and that is his potential. Like what's his ceiling as far as improvement, like how he can improve. And I think that's what the team is going to look at over a course of the season, not just this moment right here. But if you're strictly just looking at this moment, I'd be like, no. But again, Trey, he's young. I'm pretty sure the Pelicans want to keep him because they feel like he's a crucial piece. Also, you have to think about, when Zion was playing, the synergy between Zion and Trey. I think Trey had a lot of Trey's games. His best games, was with Zion.
Yep.
They really click. So the thing is, because they just have, I feel like they have way better synergy, natural synergy than Zion and Brandon. I feel the same way with Zion and CJ. Like just looking at how they played off of each other, and the same thing with Zion and Herb. Like you could clearly see a difference of just the energy and the connection that they had out there. So when you look at it that way, they're probably looking at, hey, you really play off Zion well, because obviously I think the Pelicans do want to keep Zion. But I think in that regard, I think that helps Trey out a whole lot. But yeah, that's the only thing. I don't think any of this is going to be judged. Whoever stays on the team, it's not going to be judged off this series, because we all know, what the answer is. But it's going to be the course of the season, like all the data that they've collected all season. That's going to determine who stays on the team and who gets those extensions and so forth. But I will say this. Definitely, I actually feel like Brandon does not deserve that his max extension. If he gets that, if they do give that to him, that's gonna push the Pelicans back like 5 or 10 years as far as being able to do something, unless the goal is to give him the contract and then trade him by the trade deadline. But I don't think that's a wise move to do. You got to think, you don't want a situation, and I'm not saying that this is an exact situation. So I just want to clarify that, because I might be like shocked when I say this, but you don't want it to be a situation like a Ben Simmons, where you're offering him all this money, but it's like his production does not match that, and then it's going to be hard to trade him. Okay.
Stuck with him. Yeah.
Don't think of so much the player, but just the contract. Okay, so
Yeah, it's getting close
Yeah.
to that. Go ahead, DC.
Well, I mean, Trey, I think a max for him is what, like is it like 150 million, something like
maybe
that?
like 80.
Nah, it's more than 80. It's either like 110 or 150. So I think
Shoot. That just goes to show that Herb is getting underpaid.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, golly, that's why I was saying maybe 80.
I think it's
that's
like
what Dylan
110, Lex.
Brooks.
But you gotta
That's what
understand
Dylan
something
Brooks is
though.
getting. And
These things
Brunson is at like 100 mil. So,
but
and
it's
he's
about
lower
draft
now.
positioning though.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Just a second, DC. Hold on. Let me put what's the face up here. Here go CJ.
On the board. I think this is a good team. I think they've
Man,
continued
where
to
the hell
grow
he get
throughout
this head from?
good defensive identity,
The
great in the
store.
half court. I think they're first and fourth turnovers.
It's weird looking at his head.
Seeing a little bit of that throughout the series, where they go on spurts, where they get deflections, cause turnovers, and they take advantage. So I think it's a combination of those things. Active. guys with length, and then Chet at the rim as a really good protector. I think it was a combination of those things that allowed them to be successful for 4 games.
Yeah, no, man, a little more to that. How much of a deterrent is Holmgren inside?
He's good. He's good, man. He's young. He's athletic. He's smart. He knows how to cat mouse in the pick and rolls. Protects the rim well. Obviously, JB, gave him some fits down there at times, but with his ability to steal contests, you always have to be aware of where he's at. He's a tremendous player, and he has a very bright future.
Obviously everything is still fresh right now, but just what's your feel on this season, and just how far you guys are coming, just how it ended.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough because we had such a really good season. Obviously, ebbs and flows, a lot of injuries. Guys in and out of the lineup. Hey, we get 49 wins. Then have to battle to get into the playoffs, and then obviously Z goes down, and we compete. We have a chance to win game 1. I missed a shot to win game 1, and then we end up getting swept. But I thought we competed. I thought we gave ourselves a chance tonight. I think outside of the turnovers and some of those plays, we were right there. But this is a really good team we played against. Obviously, they were the number 1 seed for a reason, and
What's the definition of compete?
to get at least 1 win.
What
But
about
I
the
think,
other nights, though?
for us collectively as a group, continuing to be able to play in these types of games, these types of atmospheres, I think it'll pay dividends down the road. But in a series like this, against a team like that with Z out, I had to be great for us to win, and I wasn't great. So I don't think we were going to have a chance under those circumstances.
I agree with the last
And
one.
another tough night for BI. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of talk about him coming out of this series and just the way he performed. I guess what's your view on just what happened with him during this playoff run and just kind
Josh
of the
is bad. You
responsibility
better speak to him.
Yeah, I mean, we got nothing but love for B. B's coming off an injury, thrust into the fire of, high stake games, high intensity games against, a world class defender in Dort. A top 3, top 5 defensive team in the Thunder who they basically gave us fits all season, so it's nothing new. We're playing them in the postseason, but for him, the sky's the limit. He's young, he's talented, he works on his craft, he's dedicated to improving each year, and I'm sure he'll come back better, stronger, obviously healthy, and looking forward to learning from these experiences. As will all of us. It's a learning experience, and I think character and growth comes in moments of adversity. So for us collectively, it's about how you respond. How do you respond when things aren't going your way? How do you respond when you're not having the type of success that you feel like you worked for, that you feel like you deserve? How do you get better? And I think for us as a group collectively, it'll be a really good summer of working and figuring out ways to improve and figuring out ways to be better for the upcoming year.
And just like you said, that's a really good team, and they showed how far they've come on both ends of the court. Just getting a chance to match up against those guys in the series.
Yeah.
What do you see as some of the things this team needs to improve to be able to compete with those elite teams in the West?
Well, we guarded really well. How many points they scored tonight? I don't have a box score. How many points? 95, like an Eastern Conference 90s game. I mean, the whole series, I think you gave up 105, 106 last game. Obviously the pace is different. It's more of a half-court game in the playoffs, but I think defensively we were great. We gave up a couple of second chance opportunities. I think the turnovers hurt us, but I thought defensively we were great. As we continue to grow and develop offensively, continue to get better, playing with pace, playing with space, obviously shooting and making threes. All those things will be helpful.
And force,
for
CJ.
us,
Don't
but
forget force.
I think all in all, we competed, and that's all you can ask for is going out there and competing and trying to utilize the blessings that God has given you and trying to take advantage. And, for me personally, I worked as hard as I could to prepare like I always do. So I walk away with my head high and understanding that I did all I could do. From a preparation standpoint, obviously, I would like to perform better throughout the series, but it is what it is. Now you move on and you figure out how to get better, and you just, walk away understanding that you did what you were supposed to do from a preparation standpoint to give yourself a chance. And now it's just about growth. And it's about learning from everything that we just went through for these 4 games.
CJ, I know injuries are just a part of it, but how tough is it just not having, how frustrating is a better word?
It's tough. I mean, there's no excuses, man. It's unfortunate. I mean, you look at what ifs and what it could have been like if we had Z, and then you look at, what the Thunder would be like without Shea, right? But that's not the reality. That wasn't what we went through. So for us, it's about figuring out how to be better. We had enough to compete at a high level, and we did it consistently, and that was the difference in the game. And I said it throughout the year. We were a good team in spurts. At times creeping towards great, but we weren't healthy enough to really get to see it. And that was a team that was basically great all season. That's why they finished with the number 1 seed, and you're able to see glimpses of that throughout the series.
CJ, I'm not sure if you've thought about it yet, and I'm sorry for rehashing a bad memory, but 6 years ago, you were swept by the Pelicans in the first round, but then the following year, your team went all the way to the finals. Do you see any kind of parallels, or can possibly the same thing happen with this team? Like, you have to believe in the talent level, everything is possibly here to make that kind of run, that turnaround?
I mean, a lot of things got to go your way for that to happen, to be honest with you. And, that was a good team that we faced. Situation was different. We were a 3 seed. That was a 6 seed. I think everybody picked us to win. When I was in Portland, we ended up losing. I think everybody picked us to lose this series against the Thunder, if I'm being honest with you. Only probably us felt like we could win this series without Z. So I think the situation was completely different from a timeline standpoint, talent standpoint. I think we have really good pieces and really good players, but in order to make a real playoff run, a lot of things got to go your way health-wise. You got to have a good regular season. You got to be healthy throughout the regular season to win games. You got to execute. Matchups matter. Who you play against in the playoffs matters. Every team is good, but you match up better against certain teams. You match up worse against other teams. So I think there's so many variables that allow for us to have success that season and go to the conference finals. And we ended up losing our big fella that year. Nurk ended up getting hurt. And then Scanner went on a really good run that year for us. But you got to have depth. You got to have luck. You got to have injury-free season, essentially. And then you got to be able to sustain a high level of play for 82. And then it goes to another level in the playoffs. And you see how the games are being refereed, the last 3 months. You got to be able to put pressure on the rim, figure out how to get free throws when they don't give you free throws. All those things have to happen for you to have success and to make that type of run.
CJ, you Brandon and Zion got some real run this year, finally together. What did you just think about what you guys learned about each other's games? How that fit, finally getting a lot of minutes together.
Yeah, I mean, I think we were having success as a team. Obviously, I got hurt early in the season, and then they were playing without me for a while. Then I came back, and then I think B.I. ended up getting hurt the last month of the season. But I think when we were whole, as a team, as a roster, I thought that we had a really good product. We won a lot of games. Obviously, we went on a run down the stretch of the season with B.I. being injured and having to win some must-win games against tough teams, and we were able to figure it out. But I think success it's hard to sustain a high level of success when you're not whole. I think you look at the rest of the league. You take off some of the top players on some of those teams. You look at the Bucks. Hard to sustain a high level of success. Look at the Sixers with Embiid versus without him. You go down the list of teams that have missed out on
How much longer
potential
is
playoff
this?
runs because of injuries, and it's unfortunate, but it's a part of the game. And I think for us, it's about focusing on what you can control, which is preparation, which is a mindset, it's a mentality, it's a humility, and a sense of understanding that we're fortunate and blessed to be able to play this game, and you want to take full advantage of it while it's here and give it all you got. And I think we have a lot of guys with that mentality, including our staff.
I think a lot of people, in around the Pelicans would say Zion made some real steps from December on. How tough was it to see that happen in that context of him, not getting to make his playoff debut?
Yeah, I mean, you never want to see anybody get hurt, and you never want to see anybody go down when they're doing what they're supposed to do consistently. I think that's what was the unfortunate part. He was, making real strides, consistent strides of great, healthy habits, stacking his days, and to go down, right on the peak of, having a chance to be in the playoffs is tough. But I think deep down, from a motivational standpoint, he knows what he needs to do to play at a high level consistently. He knows what his body needs. He knows what his mind needs. And, I look forward to seeing, how he continues to evolve as he gets older and, once he gets back healthy.
And obviously, everybody has to go through a level of adversity to get to where you guys are. But I think, it's safe to say B.I. is about to experience something that he hasn't before with, the scrutiny that comes with, a tough playoff series and kind of all of the talk that comes afterwards, especially for guys of that caliber. I guess what can you speak to about, just what it takes to kind of get through that and get past the noise that's going to come in the next 24, 48 hours and understanding, what has to come ahead for him as he tries to bounce back from this?
Because he's going to be one of the main ones writing that article.
Button for sure. He's got to block people. And then it's just understanding that we hold ourselves to a higher standard than anybody else ever could. In terms of how we want to play, in terms of expectations of ourselves. Like my expectations of me, his expectations of himself is higher than anything a person could ever place on him. So from a disappointment standpoint, we're all disappointed. We all feel like we could have done more, could have done better, but we all prepared. And I think that's the sign of maturity and a sign of ability to maneuver through, difficult situations is evaluating yourself. Like, what could I have done better? What could I have done differently? And I think for all of us, we would say,
Why
we
you
gotta
don't
work in
look
before
upset?
practice. We got to work in after practice. We watch film. I watch so many clips. I study the game
Like
so
Not
much.
this,
It's like I poured
He
myself
said
into this
everybody
so I
upset.
can
He don't
deliver
look upset.
whatever results come. Now it's about going back to the
man,
drawing board and
he's
figuring out how to
got
be better, how
a
to
whole lot
sustain
of
a high level
money,
of play throughout the
and he
season
going
and
home to a
carry that
fat
into the
crib
playoffs. And I'm sure he'll do
with his
that. And
line.
I think for him, it's just about
Mm.
growth,
He
having
ain't
a growth
upset.
mindset,
It's kind of
He's
being
hard
able to
just
display
to
happy.
fight
and
when you're
show
living in a
humility
lap of
and
luxury,
being able
man.
to really have a character building moment to where we all have success throughout our career and everybody praises you.
I mean, is
How do
this
you handle it
a
when people don't praise
political
you?
speech or
Do
something?
you
I know, man. I feel like I'm at a
discourage
lecture,
I
yourself?
mean, golly.
Do you fall under
a
pressure?
dissertation
Do
or
you
something.
forget your work habits? Do you lose your foundation? And I think, for me, I have a great foundation. I have a strong faith and belief in myself and a strong faith and belief in God. And I think when you
Yes.
are, rock solid with your foundation, you never
Y'all
waver,
seen Dave
whether that's
Chappelle?
criticism, whether that's
Spit
great
up,
nights or bad nights.
spit
He was
up.
saying yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And I think that's just going to be his mentality. And um, understanding that, you know, it's easy when things are going well, right? Like when your job's going well, like everything's great. But
Man,
how do you treat people? How do you treat yourself? How do you respond when it
what?
seems like the world is
Is he
against you? And I
answering
think
the
that's the sign
question
of a
or
great
is he
person.
probably
And I think he's gonna
the
rise above his
questions
CJ
mistakes
trying to
and
get
grow
in
going
front of
forward.
them questions.
For Trey and Herb specifically, when you got here 2 years ago, y'all made your first playoff run. They were rookies
this
that
is
year.
not
What have you seen
this is
from
not
them in
Alonzo
terms of
Mourning
growth,
interview,
your
man.
approach from that time as
Did he
rookies
have
to
a kidney
now,
transplant?
a
You
little bit
know
more
what I'm
experienced
saying?
approach
Like,
this time
dog.
around in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Trey was on the scouting report, different than what he was, a few years ago in terms of closeouts, how he's being evaluated by the other team, uh, trying to take up his space, those types of things. I think defensively he's got better. Obviously the range has continued to increase, comfortability off the bounce, decision making. All of those things have gotten better for Herb. I mean, I think you've seen the growth throughout the season. He shoots over 40 from three. He turns some weaknesses into strengths, and I think that's the sign of, someone who's sound of mind and body, understanding how you can get better, and really working on it and focusing on it. Those guys live in the gym. They love the game, and they're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to develop and continue to, show signs of improvement in a lot of different areas. Obviously, Herb
CJ
started off
had
as a
more to
really
say
good
than Willie.
defender early on, which is rare. Paint finishing improved, decision making, point forward style.
Willie says the same thing
All
over and
those
over
things have
again.
improved, and I'm sure for Trey, his offensive versatility will continue
Apparently,
to
so does
climb. Paint
CJ.
finishing, the middies, stuff off the bounce will continue to come as he continues to get older and get more reps.
CJ, you're known for being
Stop
habitual,
asking them
right?
questions.
When does the work start for you again?
That's their job, Q.
Come off this loss as a year,
Nobody
11
expected
year
him to
end.
get up here and
When do you
talk for
start to
35
really
minutes.
well?
I think the next few days you decompress. I got the clips in my phone, so I'll watch it. It's the hardest part of the season is watching after it's over. Figuring out what I need to attack. How do I get better at certain things? How am I going to be utilized? What's going to be necessary for us to be successful? Kind of evaluate that, and then
How you
I'll
gonna be
sit down with
traded
my
and who you're gonna be
movement
traded
specialist. We'll
to?
go through the calendar. We'll have
I
16
mean,
rest days. I'll have some yoga days in between. I'll
that's what
have
we're
some
trying to figure
functional
out.
and body days in between, and then
Where am I
we'll
gonna
get
grow my
started
new
in,
wine?
I guess
Well, how
technically
you
we're in May,
gonna
so we'll start in June. We'll take
get you in a
a
new
calendar month of
situation?
no basketball, and then we start our ramp up process where we go through the calendar and we pick our days, and we have lift days, we have functional movement days, we have body work days,
This is not the
conditioning
closing
days.
interview.
I started to slowly implement basketball.
It is for CJ.
And we figure out how we want to attack from there, but it's
Man, it'd be funny if you come
it's a
back on
fun
the closing
process. Looking
interview
at the
and do
calendar,
this
playing
the
with the
same
dates.
thing.
Start
Big
2
Q,
a
I
day,
think we
start
heard
3 a
enough.
days, and you start 6 days a week.
I
You
mean,
Can we
kind of
move
go through
on,
a
please?
process of
yeah,
what
because
He not gonna stop
I
talking.
mean he's been interviewing for like an hour.
All right. So shout out to brother Aramis. Thank you, bro. He said 65 mil for trade, 221 for BI would be the value.
I don't even know what the hell half of CJ talking about, man.
Yeah, I know what he was talking about. I mean, like, I think there's one thing that stuck out the most. Like,
With all that word
they,
salad.
Yeah,
yeah,
he's up there
he said
rambling. He's
you
talking. I don't
only
care about your
like,
off-season
like,
workout schedule. I don't want to hear that shit.
look, he said that, he felt like they really brought it in this game. What about the other games, CJ? Did y'all bring it then? Like this was the only game that determined, I guess if they were, just able to win a game. And then another thing he said is that everybody had picked OKC to win the series, and he was saying that he thinks that the Pelicans were the only ones that thought that they could win this series. I mean, it wasn't believable. It really wasn't. Like, I don't think the team felt like they could win this series, if that's the case. I mean, he's saying that, but actions speak louder than words. That statement right there, I don't think the team believed that they could win this series.
He's still talking.
Okay. Well, I guess you can take a DC. You know what I'm saying?
I think the first game, Lex, I think they did believe they could win. And the way that they lost that first game, I think it was a huge mistake on Willie to settle for that and be happy and then come out and express how he was happy with the effort and happy with this and that.
He treated
And
like a
then they
regular
went to the
season
second game and
and they played worse.
that first quarter was really rough. And it was just like after that first quarter, everything was an uphill battle for the whole series. Even the first game it was still an uphill battle, but after they lost that game the way they did, and then they went to the second game with the same shit and no adjustments, it just seems like their confidence was ripped away from them once they lost that second game the way they did. They breathed a little bit of new life. I think it was some hope. And when they got their ass kicked in the third game, it was a wrap. It was a wrap, man. Everybody was out there. What you said, Trey was doing, was getting some good cardio. Everybody was getting the highly conditioned cardio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But my last thing, I want to talk about the Trey thing I was talking about before we got all this beautiful word salad from CJ. As far as him getting a max, I saw my man Aramis put up there, and we got another super chat. And they've been flying in, man. We appreciate y'all. I'll read Jay Carvello one and get back to my point. Shout out to PPR. Only thing Pelicans that don't disappoint us this year in and year out. Now I'm tired of shit. Can't read again. Bring on the Floyd. Info.
Take your time, DC. You gotta take your time.
Shout out to DC, man. That set like a champ. Go ahead, DC. Carry on.
Whatever. Appreciate you, J. Carvello. Appreciate the 10 bones, though. I butchered your statement.
I gave you a round of applause. I don't know what you're talking about, brother.
Yeah, okay. But anyway, my man Aramis put up there. He said 165 for Trey Lex. 165 would be the max.
I don't know about that.
He was the 16 pick. So I would imagine that has something to do with it, I guess. But I don't think he don't meet all the qualifications.
Yeah, because
to get all of that money.
Meal.
Right. But my thing,
and he's not even where Brunson is. I think that 80 mil is a whole lot more feasible because Herb is making like what, 52?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I say somewhere around there. I was gonna say 100. Like the Lonzo Ball type deal.
Yeah, Lonzo Ball, Dylan
Brooks,
Brooks,
like that. Because I think that's
80, 90 or 100.
That's his impact. He can make a huge impact on the game without being the second best player. He maybe the third, best guy. And his strides defensively, I think you might want to look at giving him that because they got a team out there. I think that would give. They'll definitely give our boy 150. They got a team out there, but I think he'd take the 100 from us.
But I think another thing, like Trey, and we talked about this all season, he needed to be inserted in the lineup, the starting lineup for good. Like I think, everybody was kind of like inconsistent because the starting lineup that we have, the net rating was not good all season. There was a lot of problems with the starting lineup. we talked about that. So if you're moving Brandon, CJ, both along with Willie, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, that's gonna open up doors for Trey to be inserted in the starting lineup. But and if that's the goal, then it would make sense for him to get that much
No
because
doubt.
the expectation for him to step up to the plate that's what that
Well,
contract is,
man,
right?
I thought you had that on repeat. He just finished talking.
That boy was still
I
talking.
thought that was a clip. I'm sorry, Lex.
Oh no, you good. I know you fascinated with the politician.
I
Yeah.
just seen
No, I thought it was on. I thought it was on like repeat or something. I was like, man, ain't no way he's still talking.
seen Shati's comments says about he said Q put it back on. He keeps talking. Now he wants to hear what he got to say. He ain't saying nothing, brother. Probably the last 15 minutes was about promoting
They
his
was talking
wine.
about wine.
Yeah, it's just
but that just goes to show they're not. He's not in the game. This game done came and went. He already, as soon as he walked off the court, you know what? And I want to point this out because did y'all see the end of the game where Zion was sitting on the bench?
Zion looked more upset than anybody.
He did.
It
He
actually looked
did.
like it
He
hurt
sat there.
Zion.
He didn't get up and speak to nobody. He sat there and just, and really that shot, that whole clip or, picture, however you want to look at it, it kind of said everything because Zion really wanted to come back. He really wanted to play. And it's like his team, like y'all couldn't even extend the series. In no way, form, or fashion, you all could not find a way. I feel like those game 2 and game 3, I really feel like the energy was not there at all. The team didn't have any type of energy. And then it didn't help that the game plan was the same. Do you know that the OKC, they didn't adjust anything that they were doing? You know why? Because the Pelicans did not make any adjustments. I hope that didn't go over anyone's head.
Man,
Okay, like
I was hoping it would be a better reason, Lex.
no, I
no,
knew
they didn't do anything different to make the OKC, so they kept playing their same game plan. They hunted the mismatch, they executed, they didn't do anything different.
Yeah.
The only difference was in that first game, OKC did not make the shots that they usually make because they were knocking off the rust.
They were rusty, yeah.
Yeah, after that,
You're absolutely right. I just was hoping it was
hey,
something
but
else.
I mean, shoot, I'm telling
Yeah.
the truth, and it's sad that and then Willie, his butt played right into their plan. Leah, we're because basically just what you posted earlier. Was
You
it
know the
today?
most horrible
BQ?
thing to me?
Was
No.
He
it earlier
said
that you
he
posted that?
wasn't going to change anything, and
Yeah.
he really didn't change nothing.
Well,
He
he said that
ain't no
he said all cards were on the table. That video that you the flash report you posted, Big Q.
Right.
Why would you go through that whole charade if you already knew that you weren't going to change anything?
Because
That's
y'all
why
said he wasn't a strategist. He said,
he's not. And at
he said,
this
watch
point,
this. Let me tell him I'm gonna change something, and I ain't gonna change shit. That's strategy for you right there.
No, I just think he's stubborn.
he is stubborn.
He
He's
definitely stubborn.
determined.
He
He
gets
does not.
super
He's
stubborn.
determined to force the issue to stick with his game plan. He does not want to change his game plan. He forces it, even if it doesn't work. It's literally to the death.
Mhm.
So y'all know what that
To
means,
the
right?
death with his game plan.
That
He's
mean
got to go, and
we
he's not the
we
coach
get in the
for
mobile center and we gonna run it back. JV was the problem. Watch.
No,
We're gonna
it
get a
wasn't
mobile center
JV.
and run it
He
all
didn't
back.
know. You know what? They started using. They emphasized JV all season, and then the post All-Star came, and then all of a sudden he started diminishing his value, his usage.
Mhm.
And it's like, you're putting this all on Jonas, but it's like, okay, I'm looking at CJ and this dude is a liability on defense. But you're not taking him out. You're emphasizing CJ. You're telling him in the huddles, yeah, CJ, this is your game. Y'all seen those clips, haven't you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's ludicrous. So what makes CJ, or excuse me, Jonas any different? At least with Jonas is tall, and not only that, at least dumping the ball to him, it opens up things for other players. With CJ, it's not the same. That dude does that ISO ball, he starts dancing and he starts doing them pull-up threes. It's like, then he gets attacked on the defensive end. It's like, dude, like if Jonas is that much of a problem and Jonas is that much to blame, so is CJ.
See, but it's a give and get thing in their minds about CJ McCullum, because even though he gets attacked on the defensive side, he still scores the ball. So he had 20 points tonight.
He
And
went 1 for 9 on the last game. Like, dog, what's your argument?
but that's you.
He's killing and he's making bad decisions. That's 3 things as a veteran.
I know, and that's the thing with the Pelicans. They have to figure out the point guard position, because this point guard by a committee approach is not what's happening. You define
Man, OKC, all them players are younger than CJ, and they were making better decisions, making shots, and they weren't liabilities on defense.
I guess they coach wouldn't have let them do it, Lex. The coach,
he would have snatched them out, and he's a G League coach.
Or one better, maybe the coach will put him in position to succeed.
Well, I said that earlier, DC.
That's part of coaching too. But Willie doesn't know that. He's been with these guys for 3 years and does not know his own player personnel.
He doesn't. And
man, come on, y'all don't do that. Willie do know his own player personnel.
Okay,
DC, I just heard.
He only know he know how they play defense. That's it.
DC, I heard your phone ring. You just got another cash app from the Pelicans, by the way.
No, I said Willie only know their defensive side. He don't know the offensive side of his player personnel.
Apparently, he doesn't know their defensive side. Because why would you keep CJ in there when he's not doing anything on defense?
Hey, Lex, I got to correct you on Willie.
Okay.
Willie is the G League coach, and Dagno is the NBA coach. Carry on.
Okay. Well, apparently, according to the Pelicans, that they didn't orchestrate it that way. This dude is not.
So you dyslexic,
Lexxah. So Willie got beat by a G League coach. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Yeah, we got to speak the truth, nothing but the truth. So help us, God.
Willie agrees with that. Just
damn, I can't even dispute that one.
Oh my goodness gracious!
But just don't do it with violence. Does it with force. No violence.
He needs to stop watching Star
Wars.
He
does it with joy, Q, forcefully
and togetherness.
You know what? I'm
and
just
Lexxah just that she does not like that. She doesn't.
No,
like
I don't.
Isn't he from Detroit? And then I say yes, Detroit Mercy.
Well, Lord have mercy on his soul, but he needs to get the heck up out of here.
Oh man.
Well, Lex, unfortunately, they signed him to a secret extension that we don't know how long it will be.
You know what? Then hey,
I don't know.
They need to go on and trade Zion. Then you know what I'm saying? That dude's years have been wasted. If this is what they want, like this is not good, man. Oh Lord, not this.
Here it comes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, here we go.
Look great. I mean, back to you in terms of this movement, explosiveness, that type of thing.
I played. I don't think it's a great time to make excuses about my physical appearance or
Dang,
how I felt out there. I played and just came up short. Wasn't able to catch a rhythm. Maybe it was due to my body, but I was out there and I was trying to play aggressive, trying to get my teammates involved and do everything I could to be the best that I could be.
And just, that when you look at that series as a whole, what do you feel like the Thunder did to just make it really difficult on y'all to score?
Well, they had good game plan. They wanted to take the ball out of our scorers' hands and make other people make decisions, whether it was them scoring the basketball or them making paint decisions and kicking the ball out. And they did a good job. We found some success in punching the ball down to JV a little bit. And we knew he had a mismatch. Najee came up big for us tonight to bring us a spark. He was been pretty good throughout this whole series, but we were never able to catch a rhythm throughout this series. And I think he did a good job on the defensive end. On the offensive end, they were diligent about what they were doing, getting mismatches on the offensive end, attacking the basket. They were in rhythm, knocking down threes. And we've seen a lot of players grow on their team in this playoffs. So hats off to them.
How bad you wanted this one, how bad the team wanted this one, how tough was it just to have a night like this where just the shots weren't falling and you were struggling to get it going throughout?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. At the end of the game, you always know it's a possibility that we could have went home tonight, but it's still
You did go
sitting
home.
in that locker room is like, damn.
You did go home.
It's our last day.
Maybe he don't know it yet.
And
Man,
you could tell everybody felt that this is probably everybody was just sitting in the locker room just with their jersey
been
on.
420 since 420 for
about an hour,
BI.
30 minutes to an hour just thinking about the season. And but that one it hurt.
And just thinking about
Did it?
the season as a whole, just knowing the success y'all had throughout, and then seeing the way it ended, I guess what's your feeling about how this season went, and knowing what the potential was, and ultimately how it ended.
Well, we know throughout this whole season we've been pretty resilient with injuries, guys stepping up in different roles, different nights. We definitely let a couple drop on different nights. We had some nights where we executed really, really well, and we showed growth on the defensive end for sure. I think we were top 10 in defense this year, and we know that can get a lot better. But we have a lot of things to work on to become who we want to become, and I think we start communicating now. Of course, everybody's going to take a break and go back and be with their families and be away and rest their bodies. But I think our communication got to start pretty soon on who we want to be and what we want to be.
And throughout the past few years, a lot of the talk was, well, what would it look like if these guys were all finally healthy and got to play together? And y'all got to see that for long stretches this year. Obviously, it didn't end with y'all being able to sustain that. But just thinking back to when y'all were able to put everybody on the floor, what's your feel about how good this team is and what y'all are able to do? If y'all are able to put all the guys on the floor together.
But we're talented. Individually, we're talented. CJ, myself,
How does the team
Zion,
go?
Trey, Najee, JV. We got a lot of guys that's talented. We gotta put it together. We gotta be connected. We gotta know at certain points of the game. We gotta know who's hot. We gotta know where to get people to basketball. We gotta know every single thing about each other and how to make each other tick. We got to communicate a little bit more. We can do a lot of things a lot better. I think this year we just showed our talent, and we were able to get by with it sometimes. Um, I think as players we got to communicate better. I think player to coach we gotta communicate better. Everybody got to be better, and it starts with myself.
Brad, just how surprised are you that the offense just never could get it going in this series? Are you surprised by that?
Um, I don't know if the word is surprise. I just, you know,
I actually
I
look
wish we
like
could have
Bi
adjusted
Cal at
better,
least.
for sure.
He look like it hurt.
But I definitely wish we could have adjusted better. Yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Najee earlier. What did you think of the impact that he made throughout the course of the season,
Yeah.
and how effective your guys' bench was?
Well, he's actually in a couple games just turned the whole game around when he comes in on the defensive end and pushing it out. On the offensive end, he got a really good IQ where he can see stuff on the floor that a lot of our guys can't see on the floor. He can make passes. He can make and take good shots, and he can actually run a team with him being out there. And he has an urgency to guard the best player on the floor and guard him well. So he was impactful. He was impactful every time that he stepped on the floor, and he made our team better.
It seemed like him and the whole bench was huge in the game a week or so ago when you beat Sacramento to get in the playoffs. What did you think of Jose's impact this season, especially it seemed like he made a big jump during the regular season in three-point shooting, for example?
Mm-hmm. Uh, well, I think Jose got a tag on his back where when he comes in the game, you know that the game's going to turn around. On the defensive end, for sure, him standing in front of the basketball, and him coming down, and he's added a transition pull-up. He's added a catch and shoot three where he's confident in knocking that down, and that's what he's been all season. He has some injuries closer to the end of the season, and it got him out of rhythm for the playoffs and a couple games before the playoffs. But overall, I think that's the heart in our locker room. When everything not going well, he's not afraid to speak up. He's not afraid to put his body out there. And when the lights was on, in some of the biggest moments, he was there.
Speaking of Jose, just you saw in the locker room after the game, he was with you, just I guess talking you up. Just what can you share about the message that he had for you after that game?
He wanted to be better. I think that's the most simple way that I can put it. I think at the moments like this, you start reflecting and think about everything that you did over the course of the season, what you could have did better, what you did wrong, and he was down on himself, as we all are. But you can feel his energy more than anybody because he's full of life every time that you see him, and he was just down on himself. He's motivated. He wanna be better, and I believe that he will be.
Obviously, it's gonna take some time to process all this, and you probably just take some time. But like, what does your summer look like? And how, what are you hoping to accomplish out of the summer?
My summer, um, my summer is going to take a break a little bit, get my body together, get my mind together, and then and really get my mind together. Start working out and figure out everything that I need to work on you know, even when coming back from injury or anything that's going on, that I won't have a playoff series like this. You know, I think just every summer I've been motivated. I'll be honest. This is from USA up to this season is probably the worst that I've been in the New Orleans Pelicans uniform. And I'm motivated by that. You know, I can go back and I can blame coaches, I can blame everybody else but myself, but you know, I gotta go look myself in the mirror and tell myself what I really need to do. How can I help this team? How can I help the coaches? And how do I get the fans of New Orleans to believe in us again?
Okay,
You
okay.
know, that's my job, that's my task. So that's what I'll be thinking about over the summer. Going to get my mental together, going to get my body together, and coming back and try to, you know, just leave it all on the line. If I go do that and you know, I come up short or if I win the whole thing, I know I did everything I could this summer and throughout the season to be who I want to be.
Do you have like specific things you want to try to improve in mind or anything like that right now?
You know, I heard Jose said I just want to be, you know, comfortable being uncomfortable. I don't have any specifics, but I want somebody around me that's gonna push me. I don't want nobody around me that's gonna be a yes man to me. I want somebody to tell me exactly what it is, and I just want to go work. I just want to go work and be a better version of myself.
You have 1 year left in your deal with the Pelicans. You've been here 5 years. What do you think about just the likelihood of getting something done and staying here, you know, long term?
You know, I don't know. That's not in the front of my mind right now. I love the city of New Orleans. This is a place where I got my first All-Star, where they let me be myself. I got good relationships around here, but you know, you never know. I take a few weeks off and think about what's best for me, what's best for my family, and take it from there. But you know, no matter what, I got I got a lot of love for the city of New Orleans, for the fans. They did nothing but treat me right, and you know, there's some unfinished business here. So you know, you never know.
Yeah, you said starting with Team USA experience to now, this was your like worst season, I guess, here in New Orleans. Can you point to what kind of weighed down on you? Maybe give some examples on what you felt like kind of either held you back or made things so tough.
I can't pinpoint one thing. I don't know. You know, over the course of everything, just maybe just never got to being myself through the whole thing. I know I came here and said the other day during my injury, I've had spurts of feeling like myself, but you know, I didn't feel like it was consistent nights of being myself, and feeling good every single night. I know I'm not gonna feel good every single night, and I'm not gonna shoot well every single night. But it was just, you know, I didn't come around to just being completely me, and you know, as one of the team leaders and best player on the floor most nights, I can't let that happen.
And throughout your time here, we talked a lot about, you know, you just growing and learning how to step into this role and be one of the guys on the team and learning how to deal with everything that comes with that. Can you just kind of walk us through what's it like for you kind of learning how to deal with scrutiny and everything that's going to come with this series and people talking about you, the way you played and all of that, and how you kind of just mentally go through that process of dealing with that?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm I understand the generation that we in, and you know, I'm not the person that's gonna go look on Twitter or Instagram and search my name and think about all the bullshit that somebody got to say about me. If I'm I'm gonna go on my Instagram to look at stuff that I'm interested in. Two, nobody is more motivated or more mad than I am about where I am right now. And what happened throughout this playoffs, what happened before the playoffs, what happened throughout the season. No more. I mean, nobody is nobody got to go home and live with that every single day. So the scrutiny, I mean, to a certain extent, if I see it, maybe it brings motivation. But I got everything I need. This is the game I love. Most of the people that's writing stuff about me or saying stuff about me don't know me personally. But this is the game I love, and this is my story. What happened is gonna fuel me to be better. I always remember this moment. I remember everything that's going on right now, and everything that went on throughout the season, and it can only make me better. So I'm not worried about I ain't worried about what nobody gonna say to me because it's gonna be online. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing. Ain't nobody gonna come to me and be like, "You trash." No, I don't need play like that. So it is what it is. I'm gonna go get better myself because I understand. I can look in the mirror and be like, "Yo, you want shit?" I can do the same thing they doing, but it's probably a bit different between the person that's saying that behind that computer and me. Like I'm gonna go work for it. I got money. I got a family. I got people that I love and care about. It's probably a bit different. Appreciate it.
Because a lot of them that's gonna be saying that you're looking at them right there in that out in that press conference, brother. Just letting you know, the guy that was just asking you the question, watch his articles. Telling you, man, that's foreshadowing there, boy. That's the definition of foreshadowing there. All right, shout out to the fam, man. Jose, thank you. Says I'm a
You
BI.
kept it real though, bro.
Well, that's all BI does, man. You know what I'm saying? He gonna keep.
Nah, I mean, like just run all the way around the board. He was honest. He said he played like shit. He know he played like shit.
Yeah, but you better not tell me I played like shit in my face. I don't play that shit. Boy, I'm from Jamaica, North Carolina, boy.
Hey,
You know what time it is? Jose says, "Fan, I'm upset with his performance and he let the team down this playoff. Sorry, Pelican Nation. Thank you, appreciate you, bro." Brother Aramis says, "Interview kind of eerie, like he might go." Thank you, Aramis. And Brother Iceman says, "Can you show me?" Hold on here. Can you show me my graphic of Zion and Bi Applejacks?
Yeah, Bi is a cinnamon stick and Zion is an apple.
Where would I find that at, bro? Where the hell is that? I guess I got to Google it, but thank you, Ice Man. Appreciate you, man, for that. But I think that's it. All of the interviews are over with there. Thank goodness. Anybody want to chime in, man, before we get ready to kind of close out? We're gonna have to come back later on in the week and do a season wrap-up show about what we've seen and what we're looking at and what we think about the contracts and all this kind of stuff. And
Are we opening up the lines?
probably this weekend. Yes. All right. So y'all can feel free to chime in, DC Lex, on what you heard from the interviews tonight, or your last thoughts on the Pelicans getting swept by OKC.
Listening to Bi interview, yes, it feels more depressing and saddening than listening to CJ's interview, man. It makes you wonder. I've seen a few people in the comments saying the same thing, like he knows he's out of here. It's eerie. It's at the same time refreshing, man. Like attack the elephant in the room. It's year 5 of this. We can't keep doing the same shit. I like to see a reality where Bi can stay, but if we can't work it out and be able to generate a good 2-man game with Zion, if we can't be able to generate offenses that aren't stagnant, like what is the alternative? But to me, it seems like the writing is on the wall. I don't see how but we are talking about the Pelicans here, so it could be very possible. But anybody with common sense who paying attention, I don't see how you bring back both CJ and BI. If you're serious about winning, I think we have to move off of one of them. Seeing him in this presser is just more evidence of that. You can't come back after the season we just had and not have a serious change in mind frame, philosophy on how we attack the game, players, and just being ready for this moment. Because I think the Pels are talented enough, even if we didn't change anything. We went through the same season. I mean, we went through next season. We'd be back right here in the same spot with the same shit looking at us. So, ultimately, if we want to have a sustainable future, like David Griffin says, and grow organically, sometimes you got to dig some shit out from the roots and repot it, man. So that picture never gets old. That one kind of getting old for me, the second one. But yeah, that one.
Broke records, didn't it?
What is that?
Your movie broke records, didn't it? That can't be
please expound. Please expound.
Didn't it break records?
And you let me know. You sound like you know. Come on.
He gonna play dumb because he's
I'm just asking a simple question.
Go on tour and all that stuff. Come on, man.
I'm talking to two good researchers, man. Let me know what happened.
Yeah, broke records as far as what documentary movie or
he told
Did Brandon Ingram go see it?
Yes.
Did Brandon Ingram go see it?
Yes, he did.
Probably.
Okay.
Lex, you know what DC told me? That it's gonna be a sequel. I said,
okay. That's what's up.
How?
How many sons she had?
I said, how you gonna do a sequel to One Love? The man died in there, man. What you gonna bring? It's gonna be
he still got his boys.
Yeah, he live on 3 children.
Yeah, shoot. Look, add Lauren up in there.
A lot of juniors too.
I got you, brother.
Yeah, I'm listening to Brandon. This interview had a lot of vibes similar to his last interview after the last game. I don't know. It's kind of hard to pinpoint because that's Brandon. He always comes across that way. So, I mean that's just the laid back, just coming across. I'm pretty sure he pointed out some key things. But I don't know, man. This team needs dogs. This team needs winners. And this team needs guys that are going to show up 9 times out of 10. Like, things aren't always going to be perfect. Around this time, nobody's 100% healthy. Nobody is. I've heard this from Hall of Famers and active players. Like, some players have something going on with them, but you fight through it. You play through it. I just feel like we've kind of heard this and seen this from Brandon a lot. And I mean, I think, really when you think about the scrutiny from that's been towards all the players, especially, Zion, I think it's been more with him, but he hasn't been getting it like that at all. But I just think the thing is that the direction has to change. It has to change. I think a lot of these guys, if you put them in different situations that are on this roster, if you put them in another situation, they probably actually flourish. Let me give you some examples. AD, Drew Holiday. You know what I'm saying? They were shipped off and they were put in great situations for them. And I just kind of feel like, I said this a few streams ago, like even with JV, so many people talked about how, JV is a liability, trade him, get rid of him, get another center. Like the thing is that if JV goes to a contending team, let me tell you something, they're going to know how to use him. And when this dude comes and plays against the Pelicans, it's going to be like, where was this JV when we had him with the Pelicans? I feel like that's the same situation with a lot of guys. If you look at Trey, he could go somewhere and really flourish because they know how to use him. They'll know how to use him. Like this has been going on for too long. And it's something like we've been talking about this. This is something that's from top to bottom. It's from top to bottom. Guys are not put in the best situations, and this is including Brandon. They're not put in the best situations to succeed. And it's been hurting the team. It's been hurting. Like, we talk about this system. What system? What game plan? And I said this right away. I'm glad you brought up that picture, Big Q, because one of the first things after the first game against Memphis, Willie Green's talking about the best freaking duo. That was so premature. That was a premature statement. Why would you say something like that? Let me tell you something. Nobody else was talking about that. Like all season, even when it was repeated like 2 or 3 more times. Like that wasn't even worthy to even comment on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look, we have goals for the team, but you still got to be realistic. They don't play off of each other. They're not consistent in playing off of each other. Like, we have to be honest with ourselves. We have to understand the situation. We understand theory, but we have to understand reality. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I mean, look how Shaq and Barkley were joking on the Pelicans. And you know what? The Pelicans fan base couldn't even back that. Couldn't even defend it. It's like, you come out and you put this product on the floor. Willie Green, he's not changing his game plan. Henceforth, I will not waver. We all remember when he said that. Something has to change. This can't keep going. This is like, Brandon's been here since Zion's been here. 5 seasons. 5 seasons. Raise your hand if you're willing to go through all this stuff for another season. And you can put your hand up in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think Pelicans fans, and look, I understand, Brandon's probably, pouring his heart out, probably putting some truth in things. I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but it's like, Brandon, dog, I've heard this tune before. And it's not just him. It's a lot of different areas. And again, you have to excuse me. I'm thinking about the fan base. I'm thinking about what this fan base has had to deal with. Like, they go home to their fat cribs. Like CJ, CJ, he got his money. And we could clearly tell he didn't.
B.I. said he got his money too.
Huh?
B.I. said he got his money too.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, hey man, hey.
Yeah, I was
they,
liking the interview till he said that shit. I was like, damn.
But how much? Yeah, because he kind of like, yeah, I don't care what nobody else says. It's like, but you don't want any yes people around you. Do you really want the truth? Because there was some contradictory there when he came back.
You could tell him stuff as long as it sounded like he's saying like his peers, but like regular people, I guess that's what he was directing them shots at.
I mean,
That's what it sounds like. Somebody running up on him on the street, telling him you play like shit. He don't want to hear that. Like,
Just
well,
because
the
they're
thing
gonna do
is like I wouldn't tell him
but New
that.
Orleans people gonna do what they gonna do.
I would be in
gonna do
detail
it.
on
I don't
why
think
you were playing like crap. But I mean, the thing is like there's so many things that are wrong right now. There has to be a change. There has to be a change, and it has to be like apparent, not like oh well, we just switched the number, changed some numbers. CJ took a pay cut. No, I can tell you right now, CJ does not need to be on this team. He don't need to be on this team. Willie needs to go. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, he is not the coach of the future. And the thing is, like, to me, this is not a successful season. Improving in regular season games, but every single year that you've been here, the best that you've been was a play-in team. Like, dude, that's the same tune, just a different day, a different year. The end result is still the same. You were a play-in team. And then a first round outing. That was the same as your first year. The needle hasn't moved. It's gone like this, but it's not going like this. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not ascending. It's just staying in that small space down here, but we're not going up here at all. But I mean, I just I don't want to seem like I'm heartless, but I'm just saying, like, as a fan, I'm like, dude, I've heard that before. Is that really going to are you really going to really change your game? Because I'm not seeing any improvement to the Mamba mentality, if that's what you're talking about. I'm not seeing that. And apparently, yeah, it's okay to be down for this moment because you just lost, but y'all going home to your fat cribs and with your money. And they ended with that, right? CJ ended with his wine discussions, and Brandon ended with,
I got my money, and y'all better not tell me nothing to my face.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? So you went through all that charade. You went through all that to end with that?
Yes.
Y'all better go kick rocks. I'm not buying that. I listen. I pay attention. And I'm just putting y'all up on game so y'all don't let that all that, oh, just gotta, put it all together because I want to get better, want to get my body right. And
he was half dead until
and if I can't,
space.
New Orleans done right by me, and I'm gonna do it somewhere else. You caught the last part.
It's like, no, I'm not falling for that. And I'm a woman. You know what I'm saying? We in touch with them emotional type. No, man. Come on, man. No. CJ talking about his wine, talking about his money, and he did the same thing. But my take is, what is this organization going to do for the fan base that continues to support this dysfunction, the product that y'all put on this floor and keep disrespecting us? That's what y'all need to be talking about. I don't want to hear about y'all's money. Y'all already making y'all's money. I don't want to hear about your wine. I don't want to hear about none of that stuff. Y'all need to put winners on the floor. Y'all need to put dogs on the floor. Because this fan base wants to see a winning team. Put the family, the love, the culture, y'all put that to the side. If you're winning, all that stuff comes with it. I'm done.
All right. Lex letting him have it. Yeah, it's a man. I don't know what to say, man, about the Pelicans. I'm just so disappointed in this team, man. And why am I surprised? listening to these post game pressers by Willie and Bi and CJ just confirm everything that I was feeling. I'm not enthused about the prospects of moving forward. The whole season was diminished severely.
Pelicans that made me more excited about the Saints. Q. How is that possible?
That's insane.
It's just gonna switch back.
I mean, think about it like this:
once you get the same dose of medicine.
we're gonna tell them the future, because Bi was talking about, man, I don't need no yes men around, but I need people that's going to push me, that's going to tell me the truth. All you have to do is
But you better not run up on me and tell me the truth.
You don't have to.
Be like,
We can listen.
You can't handle the truth.
just listen to PPR, man. We've been telling the truth the whole damn way, straighten up and down, no bias, man. We keep it real. We tell the truth, and we right. So, I mean, it's time, man. It's time. We done went through this. This is at the end. This is at the end of a point here, where we've tried this thing all together, and it has not been a successful thing. And time is out on this project. The CJ McCullum thing was brung in to help out in just the kind of cases like what we've seen in this playoff series. He was supposed to be one of the factors that helped elevate the team. And getting swept, you win 49 games, which is a good mark for the Pelicans. You have the NBA's best road record. And then it's all for naught if you go into the playoffs and you get swept. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm sorely disappointed in the Pelicans. The mentality of the players, hearing from what I heard from Bi and all these guys, it's some hurt there. But overall, Willie Green, man, and David Griffin, these guys, man, they just conning the hell out of Gail. But anyway, I won't even get in that. What we going to do?
Thank you. I'm hurt too.
Right. I appreciate that, DC, for you sharing your feelings like that.
And I'm just wondering. I just saw the ending to the Lakers game, so I'm hurt, but I'm also smiling on the inside.
Well,
but why did we pass up Jamal Murray again?
Because you drafted Buddy Hield.
Okay, I'm hurting more. Let's move on.
Okay. Well, that was Dale Demps. That was the point. Dale Demps drafted. He got picked by Denver the very next pick, and Dale Demps drafted Buddy Hield. And then
the guy who scored 2 points last Philadelphia game.
That's right. Dale Demps drafted Buddy Hield, and then the next pick, Denver got Jamal Murray. So there you go. That's the life. That's the story of the Pelicans. So anyway, we're gonna come. Yeah, and don't even talk about the Austin Rivers pick. Although it came with Bi, we're not even talking about that one. So
that was wasn't that Dame Lillard?
It's
you know what? I do have a question.
We would never had CJ.
All I could tell you, bro, is that you won't talk about a squandering ass organization that takes any little bit of positivity that they get, blow it up to like it's the greatest thing. Build a lineage of getting to the playoffs and having success. Like they have some teams that make it to the playoffs every year. Now they might sometimes they'll get to
Spurs were like that for a long time.
Right. Well, Sean gonna say he gonna really smile in the chat because you said that, but you tell him.
Well, I mean, I'm just like they had the longest streak. That's why I said that.
Well, it's facts. But at the end of the day, I just don't like the octopus. He's gonna try to take this because the press conferences are coming from David Griffin. They're coming from.
You got some salad dressing for that word salad we about to get?
I was sitting up here disinterested hearing what Bi and CJ got to say. So imagine how I'm going to be when he get on the mic.
Well, you know how he about to spin doctor.
He gonna spin it up and what he gonna say about the 40s?
We had the best season in 50 years. Let him tell it.
We tied for the second best season and all the
with all the bunk ass stats and statistics.
That's the best road win. We were such and such in attendance.
We were road warriors. I'm waiting for that phrase. I know you're gonna use that.
All that stuff does not mean
the season didn't end the way we wanted.
All that stuff is what looks good on paper.
Well, he needs They need something to sell it
Yeah,
back.
I know. But
They
the
gotta
thing
sell
is,
tickets.
it's like, look, this is a business, right?
Exactly.
It's a business. So the thing is, what's the purpose of your business?
To sell tickets.
To make money.
To make money.
Yep.
Okay, well, one thing that helps you make money is if you're winning.
Right.
That's part of it.
Well, we won.
Like,
We won.
who?
We won. We won 49 games this year.
That's not winning.
We won. We were the best road record. We had the best road record in the NBA.
And see, that's the stuff that they trying to fool people with.
Oh, that's what they're
Don't
going
fall
to
for that, y'all. Don't fall for it.
I've been saying that for years, Lex. That's why
Don't fall for it. Because that's what they've been doing. This is not it. This is not it.
This is not, yeah. That's why I said something.
And for people who really understand basketball and stuff like that, because I understand it's sports entertainment, but golly, man, this is like, what's the direction?
It's no
Like
direction.
when you look at other teams, like the Thunder, the T-Wolves, like you can actually see their future. You don't even have to think about it. Like you can tell they're going to be in the playoffs for a while. I don't feel like that with the Pelicans. And I'll tell you why. Wembanyama has sped up the process for the Spurs. The Spurs are coming. Memphis, they're about to get healthy again. Even when they weren't healthy, look what they did to the Pelicans, and we had everybody. Okay,
Matter of fact, that was the start of our spiral.
Don't forget Houston.
But you see what I'm saying? Like these teams are coming back.
Yep.
Somebody's gonna be kicked out.
Yep.
The Pelicans were the 8th seed. Whose place is the Memphis Grizzlies taking? Because you know they coming back. The Spurs, they're hungry. Like they interviewed Wembanyama, and Wembanyama said that there were there were players throughout the league that reached out to him, telling him that they wanted to play with him. Let me tell you something. I don't think they were role players. I'm willing. I'm not a betting person, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't role players. I think it was stars telling him, "Hey, man, yeah, I want to play with you."
They got money too. They're gonna have the money to spend too.
You know what I'm saying? Like Houston, yeah. Houston is coming. And see, these are teams that are in our division. You know what I'm saying?
Dallas, what you doing?
You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna take somebody's place. And not to mention, Denver is still gonna be good.
Yep.
Okay. I already said the T-Wolves are gonna be in it. OKC's gonna be in it. The Mavs, they just came out and said that, hey man, we're built to do well, to go to the playoffs like for 5 years in a row. They came out and said that. Like they're starting to click. And they're clicking at the right time. Like, and that's the thing. It's like everything the Pelicans have been doing has been so reactive. Like they're not being proactive enough. It's like every single season you're falling behind. And you know they're falling behind because, again, when you look at the Pelicans record, if they had this record last season, they would have been the 3rd seed. That right there tells you teams got better. They're not waiting around twiddling their thumbs. They're being aggressive on getting better. Meanwhile, the Pelicans, like, oh, you know what? We want to see what this squad can do. We want to collect data. You know what? While you're collecting data, you know what I'm saying? Like other teams are getting better and they're passing you up.
Mm-hmm.
They're passing you up. So I have never seen, as far as business-wise, I've never seen a direction going downward. But right now, the Pelicans, their direction it's spiraling downward because you're not being proactive enough. That's why it's going to be interesting to see what the team does in now. Might as well say now because the season is over. I mean, it's like, hey man, like, it's not looking good, man. It's not looking good. When is Zion's contract up?
Oh, Zion on a hook for what, 3-4 more years?
Yeah, he
got a while on that.
Hey,
they got
they need
time
to,
on that, but the way they blew through these 5 years,
but do they really
shit.
have time though, DC? Do the Pelicans
I
really
say
have time?
halfway through that, if we still look the same, I would imagine Zion probably wants out, and who can really be mad at him?
Exactly. And what does it become? It basically becomes another AD situation. Like, you can understand why he left. Like, what are you all doing to build around? And see, that's a part of it. What are you doing? Rajon Rondo and DeMarcus Cousins came out with the Rachel Nichols interview. This was some months ago. But they came out and said, man, the Pelicans are not doing enough. You're not doing enough for your star player. If you're not doing enough, how long do you think that's going to last before you're basically forcing that player to be like, you know what, I want out? You have something to do with that. You're not getting the role models that, you're not grooming him, developing him. You still have to guide your star players in order to succeed. And I feel like, for a lot of these 5 years, I feel like it's been a whole lot of like, I got to learn this stuff by myself. I feel like that's the way it's been for Zion. Because the situation that you come into, it really does matter. And if you don't believe me, look at the situation Wembanyama walked into. Look at the situation that Anthony Edwards walked into.
Yeah, Alexis.
You got to build your players, man. You have to. What are you investing in generational talent? You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, time is ticking. Time is ticking.
They just got him to play. Just got a physical therapist this year. Got a lot of games out of him. I know they just
in year five. In year 5, that's when you get a physical therapist. You see what I'm saying?
I know everything is behind. Everything
that's unacceptable.
Everything is behind. That's why I'm saying
yeah.
Yes. So
reactive and not proactive.
I mean, it takes imagination to be like that, Lex. It takes imagination to be proactive. And not
their business. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
as opposed to defensive. I mean, it takes imagination, something that Willie Green doesn't have, man. He doesn't have that.
It's from top to bottom. It's not just Willie. It's not just him. He's a pawn.
Yeah, he's definitely that. He's definitely a pawn. No doubt about it. Listen, fam, we'll be back. I guess it's Friday. We'll come back Friday. And we'll kind of do an end of the season show. Maybe Friday or Saturday. I'll get with Lex and DC and figure out what'll be the best time for them for the season wrap-up show. And we'll go over the contracts. We'll kind of span ahead into what's ahead for the Pelicans. We'll even kind of look at the draft. We'll kind of go over our roster and take a peek at people that might be available and kind of just forecast and see exactly where the Pelicans are going to go after being swept by OKC. And they lost to OKC last year in the play-in. So kind of history repeating itself once again. But yeah, she's absolutely right. The Southwest is definitely getting stronger, and the Pelicans, man, to go out like this just diminishes the season in my book. Why have a strong regular season to have a weak postseason is horrible. So We're gonna get ready to get out on that, man. So listen, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all for being in the stream. Very disappointing matchup tonight. Pelicans get kicked out of this thing, swept out of here just disrespectfully. They disrespect the Pel Nation with this performance. This whole series was terrible. Just all terrible. But in the end, man, like I said, we'll be back on the weekend. Y'all hit y'all notification bell.
Well, I want to say one last thing, bro. I ain't gonna be too long.
Are you here? I thought you left. Go ahead. Go ahead and make your announcement for one.
All I want to say is there is one silver lining. Because the way that the Pels, I ain't about to crack no joke, Lexxah. But because of the way that the Pels ended this playoff series, it's almost a positive because it was so bad that we know they have to make a major change. They can't really run it back.
You
And
know
if they
what?
do,
I hope
the
they do.
people gonna
that,
put so much
DC.
pressure on them that we're gonna have to trade somebody by the trade deadline, bro. They have to make a
Fans got to
change.
get more selfish and aggressive and riot.
Oh, they
or
are.
something.
The fans are being really aggressive.
I mean,
you seen the commercials, Lex?
Together.
They had to put 50% off on the concessions trying to get people.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
They ain't showing up like they should. They showing with their
said
money.
They should have had the concessions for free, but
That
they
would be
know.
cute.
And see,
Would agree
they
there.
keep misleading people. It's a daggone shame, man.
So,
I mean,
with that being said, though, it's like, man, you play as well as they did all year, and you consistently crumble under pressure. What is it like? 0-27.
DCB repeats itself. Yeah, Jay
When
Carl.
trailing
you
going
know
into
what? You know what's funny?
Well, yeah, I gotta
Pels,
repeat it, Q, because that's what we
Pels
seeing.
were
A
actually
repeat of the
leading in the
same shit
third
from last
quarter
5
going into
years.
the fourth. You know that, DC?
What'd you say?
The Pels were actually leading in the third, at the end of the third, going into the fourth. They were leading by 1 point.
Oh, so we could increase that other record.
It's what the problem was?
It's 1-10 with a lead 3 points or less. You can roll with that one.
The problem was the game was close the whole time. And
that's playoff basketball.
Yeah. I mean, I was like, oh, shoot, ain't nothing happening. This game is too close. Look, y'all had the lead by 1 point.
Well, that little 5-point lead evaporated so
then
fast.
You hit another thing. The game's too close. How many ways have the Pelicans been winning?
They only win one way. We got to blow up. We got to blow them out, baby.
Yeah, and
we
that's
gotta
why I was
be
like,
winning by 10 points or more.
Look, it took them a long time just to take the lead, and then they didn't even have the lead for a minute. And any time,
man, that shit evaporated like some water on a hot day. It was quick.
And then, how is it that you gonna let the weakest link for their team in Giddey? Why y'all gonna let him beat you? Are you for real? Why was he doing this team? He was doing everybody. Trey, CJ, Brandon.
Be thankful, Lex. Because you're not gonna have to watch at least the same shit next year. It's no way.
You know what? We don't even know that.
They can't bring everybody back. Financially, they can't do it.
They can't bring Willie back. They can't bring that dude back. They can't bring that dude back.
Hey.
Bring that dude back.
The love doctrine is in full effect, Lex, for about 3 more years.
What? Look, I'm choosing violence. Who's gonna choose violence with me? What?
Well, they say love is war.
Okay, what? Huh?
What? He done lost his damn mind.
He tired.
DC, go to bed, bro.
Oh my goodness! Look,
y'all ain't never heard that expression before. Come on, man, y'all. So I'm the only one who heard that.
DC, I think I heard
that expression before. Y'all ain't never heard "love is war."
DC when been eating spiked pineapples again.
Man, I guarantee you, they got a couple of albums named that.
but I did.
Some songs and everything.
Yeah, one of them is yours.
Nah, it ain't my song.
Yeah, it is.
Might be yours.
Worse, Willie or Darvin Ham?
Yeah, might.
I mean, well, Darvin Ham has LeBron, and LeBron is kind of like the coach and the coach on the floor. So
I say that's the Spider-Man meme where they both pointing at each other.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, DC.
Same,
I see.
same shit.
You woke up. You ain't sleepy no more.
Look at it. Look at this. This AD. This is pretty much how we all feel. Listen to this right quick.
This is because Oklahoma City is exceptional, but it would have gone longer. It wouldn't have been a sweep. I don't think there's any question.
You got the floor, Dita.
Damn.
You know what? He just had to I think he wanted to let out a little bit more though. This whole season has been special though, man. I mean, it really has.
It's
We've
terrible.
been talking about all the flaws, all the mishaps. I think the biggest thing that they had problems with was the energy. They didn't consistently they weren't ready to play.
Lex, I think the biggest problem they had was the edge.
Yeah, that too.
We had a song the whole damn year.
And you know what? I feel like it was a waste. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dang, man.
Yeah. Play with
the upside was great because everybody was coming back healthy. And it's like, dag on it, man. It's like y'all weren't motivated to play, to prove something. And let me tell you something.
Give me my money.
This is just one more thing, man. This season had a lot of embarrassing moments.
So did
I
last
think
season
that's
and
the
the one
biggest
before that
thing.
and the one before that.
No, but this was even bigger because obviously the in-season tournament, this was the first year of the in-season tournament. The first one. And out of everybody on the biggest stage for the in-season tournament, the Pelicans just fumbled the bag. That was really embarrassing. And I'm not going to forget that. I
And they
can't
put us
forget
in
that.
Galveston for real.
Yeah, he was dead serious. He was
They
dead
put us in
serious.
Galveston for real.
Yeah. Probably Greyhound. At least they put Beyonce up in there and her mama.
Who the hell Jay-Z
And
supposed to be?
Jay-Z. Well, you know,
Beyonce.
who's leg? Oh, dang. Okay.
Zion.
Yeah. And then they look who they.
Well, we it's just what we laughing stocks of the NBA as always, man.
Yeah.
Got to get it better. But listen, fam, go ahead, Lex.
Nah, that's why the team needs to play better, man. Y'all got to feel a certain kind of way, being clown and not being respected. You know, at some point in time, that don't like, even as a man, you know what I'm saying? As a competitor, that don't bother you? That you a laughing stock?
Nah, because they got paid.
Yeah, they got paid. Yeah.
I got
And
my
they got
money.
paid behind. Okay, well, I mean, should the fan
Laughing
base
all the
even
way to
watch
the
these
bank.
games? Should they watch the games, Big Q? What's the purpose? Look, because ain't no sense in caring and showing this much,
We got to get the right guys in the building, Lex. That's what it comes down to, man. So we're fighting we're fighting a never-ending battle. People.
What you go back to say, DC? Why are you clearing your throat?
Go ahead, DC.
Nah, I'm gonna let it ride. I'm gonna save it for the next episode.
You sure?
We gotta go ahead and end the funeral.
All right. Okay.
We was viewing the
It ain't
body
just
last
ending
time. This is putting it in the ground right here tonight. So
yeah,
we're gonna show up. Friday when we gonna reminisce over the candlelight visual?
Well, it'll be the Friday or Saturday based on on schedule.
It's gonna have to be Friday for me, but
that's good for you, Lex.
You know, the show must go on.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, but I'm pretty sure I'll be here if you own.
Okay. All right. Friday it is then. All right. So it'll be Friday, fam. Chime
That
in
is
and
very lovely. Lex is gonna be here with all her joy and compassion, and we all can be together
What?
we
to
have the
end the
whole
season.
This dude is trying to start something, isn't he?
this
I mean,
I think he spent
can't
time.
you just let the thing let the stream end in peace?
I did. I said that's lovely. We're gonna all be together
No, because
Friday.
you're being sarcastic. Ain't no
DC
Well,
on the
we got a lot of joy and compassion, and we stick together.
DC is on the
Look,
spike.
and-
talking about the PPR crew.
Yes.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
All right. Okay. So let's gonna get on out of here. We'll be back
Man,
Friday.
I wouldn't have made it without y'all, man.
Be here Friday afternoon.
You need your family at funerals. You need your family.
So listen, y'all, feel free to hit the like button, family. Please feel free to hit the subscribe button, and by all means, feel free to share the show on your social media feed. We up to this thing.
I couldn't
And
agree with you more, Q. One love, man.
The movie.
feel free to watch DC's One Love movie too. He did a wonderful performance. He said there's supposed to be a sequel to it. And
one of his sons.
no, he actually said he'll play Bob Marley as a zombie.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
gonna be called Love is War next season.
Oh wow.
There you go.
How does that song go?
Go ahead, DC. Tell.
How you heard me? Yeah. You said, huh? And
How does what song go? Which one?
What you just said? Come on, sing a song.
Love is
Sing
War.
the outro.
There ain't no song for that shit. You
Hit
want
the
to make one?
guitar.
No, you said
Ain't
you
no
got
song for that.
Yeah, you do. Come on. You said it's a sequel. So you gotta have music with it, right?
Hey, you came up with the edge. The next one is Love is War, Lex. You need to get a message across to Willie.
Oh, chicken, I ain't trying to talk. Oh, I was about to say something. Okay. I am not trying to talk to that gentleman. Okay. Look, he is set in his ways and he's stubborn and hard.
TheWhoThatDaily.com. That's right, TheWhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelicans, LSU Tigers, even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, TheWhoThatDaily.com is your site. TheWhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform store where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform continue to grow. So check out the Pro Shop and Who That too.